On the 1st of August 2019, the Totbrook Reservoir burst in Wadybridge, and 1,500 residents of the town were evacuated. My family and I were part of that evacuation. We were living outside of the town for 7 days and then returned. So when everything was over, and we returned home, God told me this that happened was a metaphor of the end times, and that is why I am putting this in a video. I'm not going to give the interpretation of it at all. If you have understanding and the Spirit of God to lead you, you will understand it. If not, you will not understand anything. Okay, so on the 1st of August, I got up pretty early. I think I got up at about 7. My children's cousin was coming to stay with us, and I received him and made sure, kids had snacks and everything to eat. But I got a headache, really bad headache. And I asked my husband if it would be okay if I went to lie down for a bit and he watched the kids. So I went down upstairs to lie down, and I think at about maybe 11:30 or 12, a helicopter above our house kept waking me up. A helicopter circling continuously over our house, and it worried me because that's not normal behavior for the helicopters in the Peak District. And my headache was fine. I went down. My husband had made us a nice brunch, and we all ate together. But I was worried the whole time, and I told him something was wrong. And a friend of mine at that moment that lived in another town WhatsApped me and said, "Did I know that the Totbrook Dam had burst?" And she sent me pictures of the wall that had been damaged, and I went on the internet and looked it up, and saw that it was really badly damaged, and we were worried. My husband less so than me. I was a lot more worried than he was, and I had seen the previous night that there was a very large storm, and I had showed a video to my husband of the storm overflowing over the reservoir at an enormous torrent, just flowing at incredible speed down the reservoir, and that had never happened before. But I had not imagined that the dam would actually be broken and that there would be a problem, that like we would be in danger. And so after my friends sent the WhatsApp, I was really worried, and I started doing research, and I looked at the geophysical, the topographical maps of the area, and I saw our house was in the path of if the dam burst, our house would be in the path of the torrent. And I was very worried, and I told my husband, I think we should get out of here. And he wasn't being difficult about it. He wasn't as worried as me, but he said, you know what, we can leave and go to my sister-in-law's house, and if everything is fine, we can just come back later. So I started packing, and while I was packing, a friend of mine called me and said, I think you should get out. Her husband is an engineer, and he had seen the damage to the wall, and he said it's too dangerous. We had to get out, and so I was packing, and I told my friend, we're already packing. We are definitely getting out of here. And she was already gone. She'd been staying with her kids at the moment. And I finished packing. We put the kids in the car. Luckily, we had a lot of stuff with us. We had extra clothing and bedding and everything that we needed for a few days. So we put the kids in the car. We got in the car. I spoke to some of my neighbors, and they said they were also worried, but they were going to stay. They decided to stay. And I just thought, it's their choice what they do. And we left town, and um, when we got to Buxton, it's about 15 minutes away from Bridge. We received a report from the police saying that the entire town had to be evacuated. And I didn't know um, at the moment, because I wasn't in Bridge at the moment, but friends of ours said the police were shouting at everyone to get out immediately, and as I say, it was chaos. It was like they had minutes to get into their car and leave town, and it really looked like the police was panicking. Um, we luckily missed that part. We went to my sister-in-law's house, which was in another county, and we stayed there for 5 days, 5 nights. Then stayed in a hotel, and then on the seventh day, we came back to Bridge and stayed and came back to our house, which was luckily fine. What we didn't know was when we left Bridge that afternoon, when we left Bridge, the the wall had a large breach, and one very brave man stayed on the wall and risked his own life and kept packing sandbags on the wall, even though water was spewing everywhere. And if it wasn't for him, the wall would have collapsed completely and a lot of people would have died. Yes, so that was our experience. Afterwards, of course, what the important part for me is God said this was a metaphor for the end times. I hope you have understanding. I hope you know what this means. God bless.